road trips and young romances, breakups and second chances. Our rhythm steers through all these years. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isikuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isikuti love. That's Isikuti Love by Mayonde. Look her up, she's amazing, one of my favorite Kenyan artists. How are y'all doing today? Habari zenu, ohoro wanyu, konnichiwa, guten tag, como estas, and all the other greetings. I hope y'all are doing well, and today's video is gonna be very interesting. So being such a popular creator, you know, I got haters. So I have to filter my comments most of the time. It's a trick I learned on TikTok. But then I have not been checking them. I really have not been checking them because I'm like, I didn't realize there were so many, and I didn't realize YouTube also has its own unique filters. If it detects something, it holds the comment. So thank you, YouTube. I like y'all. Anyway, so today I decided to go into the cesspool of this hate. And I will not address each and every comment, but I will address a lot of them. I just pick them at random, basically, and then delete as I go, because, you know. But then for you guys, I'm sorry, my haters, your comment will never be seen by anyone else except for me. Eat that. Let me preface this by saying that this is not the first time I've been dealing with such comments. It has actually gotten pretty old. Like I said, before I came on YouTube, I was on TikTok for 5 years, give or take, and I saw the worst of humanity on that app. The things I was told, the things that were wished upon me were things I never would have thought humans who breathe like me were capable of. But here we are, right? So some of these comments are things I have just seen over and over and over, and I just figured this will be a dedicated segment for the YouTube comments, YouTube hate comments. Okay, now, of course, I know what kind of videos actually trigger these kinds of comments, and most of the time, if you look in the description area of my videos, I will mention it. I will say, wait for people to get triggered, because I can already tell, I can predict their behavior. Again, I've been doing this for a long time, and some people will even leave more than 10 comments. I'm like, dude, you could have just written one whole paragraph, you know. Let's see, I'm gonna group them by video, I suppose, and then I will link the video here when I mention it. Let's see. Man, some of these videos are old. And the comments are still scrolling. Still scrolling. But they're not all of them are bad comments. It's just if YouTube feels and detects it might be inappropriate and potentially harmful, it just holds it. So not all the comments that are withheld are negative comments, but you know, this is not fun for me to filter through them. But again, these are things I have heard. Okay, let us look at, so under this video, similarities between black activists and trans activists, where I was defending Blair White and basically other conservative queer people, because again, they clash the exact same way. They use the exact same script, the exact same insults. It's just you change the trans to black, and it's the same thing. Remember that every movement, any movement based on pride, is going to be a negative movement. Black pride, gay pride, trans pride, because they're looking at everyone as a collective, as a monolith. They cannot think through logically because they're very driven by emotions. They have very similar characteristics across the board. So under that video, I recognize this username, and this same person has been all over my TikTok, used to be all over my TikToks. A welfare queen living in a small apartment raising 2 kids on your own. So I looked at her and I was just like, I've had that comment, man, a number of times, maybe 20, 30, 40 times. First of all, no, I'm not on welfare. You wish I was though. My apartment is not that small. It's a 2-bed. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath. A very nice balcony, more than you can afford. And I'm not raising them on my own. I'm married. So I don't just go making baby daddies. I actually get married and commit to people. Okay. All right. Next, this one was a very funny one because this is a Kenyan woman. And the irony of this comment came under this video where I'm calling out racism from Kenyans. Listen to that again. This video is tackling and rebuking racism from Kenyans. Then this racist Kenyan comes under the comment section and says 2 things. Was about to take you serious until eye emoji, your husband, laugh emoji. Anyway, when things go sour, we will be waiting for you on the other side of black struggle. Ugh, what does that even mean? Anytime people attach a color to anything, I don't take you seriously. Anytime you say, oh, black struggle, black love, white this, white that. I'm just like, so your struggle is black. I didn't really struggle had a color. Anyways, and the irony of this is that Kenyans don't typically believe in the race construct like Americans do. It's black and white nonsense. So this is someone who's definitely been indoctrinated into the leftist way of thinking and ideologies. It's really ridiculous to see. Eunice, you are just showing your own racism, because if the first thing you saw was my husband's color or skin tone, because I hate saying people are colors because we are not colors, we are people, okay? That showed your own racism. On top of that, what has my husband's skin tone got to do with me and the way I think? I'm an individual, right? You unfortunately believe in collectivism, so you think I'm a collective like you because what, I'm black, so I have to think black like you? I want nothing to do with you. I don't know who you are. I have nothing in common with you except for skin tone. Count me out of your nonsense. And thanks for proving again there are some racist Kenyans out there. The next comment from Eunice is that it's like listening to a white MAGA speaking. Now I'm speaking white. Actually, you know what? That's why I wore this hat, y'all. This is a special dedication to Eunice MAGA. It's one of my favorite hats. I have a bunch of these. And by the way, just to clarify things for y'all, MAGA is not a political party. MAGA is a movement. It is made up of all people from all walks of life. We come in all skin tones, all shades, all belief systems. We have witches, we have Christians, we have Catholics, we have Muslims, we have the LGB. We have a few T's who are pretty cool people. They don't think being trans is a flex or that is their whole personality, We have Republicans, we have Democrats, we have Libertarians, we have Independents. MAGA is literally a mishmash of people, and that's why I love it here. I love it over here. Yeah. Okay, so this is another racist Kenyan under the same video rebuking racist Kenyans. Susan Kahogo, a fellow Kikuyu like me. Now let me give you guys some context if you're not Kenyan and you don't understand what tribes are. In Kenya we have tribes the same way the American politicians, especially the Democrat politicians, try to divide people by skin tone. The same way Kenyan politicians try to divide people by tribe. It just happened last week or a few days ago where President Ruto and his goons, who he's hiring to interfere with protests and cause chaos, there was a Saba riot. I will link something in the description about Saba because I don't want to go into it. And the outcome of it was blamed on one tribe, my tribe, the Kikuyu tribe. But Kenyans, thankfully, most of them, because people like you, Susanna, ruining the vibes, they've woken up to the antics of the politicians in dividing them. They're presenting a united front now. So there's this hashtag going around Twitter right now, X. It sounds so weird calling it X. And it's going on X right now, and Kenyans are using the hashtag, we are all Kikuyu. Meaning, if you're going to blame Kikuyus for causing ruckus or protesting, then we are all going to identify as Kikuyus. And I love that for us. I love that for Kenya, y'all. You have no idea. Remember the post-election violence, 2007, when everything went wrong, people were pitted against each other. It was a little bit, not as similar, it wasn't at the same level as, but the Rwanda-Burundi, 1994 Rwanda-Burundi genocide, same thing. Two tribes, they've always gotten along. There might have been some issues and some clashing, but it was definitely stoked. The fire of hate was stoked between the two tribes, and you guys know what happened. So Susan says, just like Trump's book that I bought and couldn't go beyond the first chapter is the same way I've had to stop watching this. And she modified this with a stop sign emoji. People will always talk no matter what. Why are you bothered? Susan. Okay, a little information, background information. I never used to like Trump. Actually, it's funny the kind of books I bought against him. I am a reformed Democrat, if you will. A lot of us MAGA and a lot of our conservatives are actually reformed Democrats. And the reason I was a Democrat is because I was convinced Trump was the enemy. Trump is a former Democrat. I wish you guys could do your homework instead of running your mouths on the internet. When I come and present something and I make content, it's a very informed opinion I have. I've done my homework, I've been there, done that. I used to think Trump was the worst of the worst until I learned more about him, and I was like, he's actually not even the enemy. The people pointing their fingers, they have 3 fingers pointing back at them. You're one of them, so do better. You can stop watching and not say you stopped watching, right? You don't have to announce what you're doing, right? And yes, why am I bothered? Because I can be bothered. I have an opinion on things. Can I not have an opinion? Why don't you make your own YouTube channel and, I don't know, share your own opinion on things too, right? Right? It's called the freedom of speech. Something covered, in the US Constitution that I definitely appreciate very much as an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? So, bite me. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is some person called Silly XOXO commented under, the Pan-Africans must have been pissed off because this is one of my shorts where I was rejoicing the fact that Trump essentially exposed President Maposa to the world and all his racism. So someone said, won't be this happy once your rights get slowly taken away again and discrimination comes back. LMAO and crying emojis. Whose rights are getting taken away? Why do you guys fall for the fear mongering? From what I understand, as an American, Kenyan American, dual citizen, immigrant, legal immigrant, as a woman, Trump has actually restored my rights because now men are not allowed to compete in women's sports. The people actually stripping away my rights are the Democrats because they think it's cool for boys to compete with girls. Even if they're physically not the same, boys have an upper hand, they're faster, they're stronger. They think it's a good idea for them to compete, and yet they say they're the party of women. How? Right? So that right has been restored. My rights of speech, Kamala Harris she was all about that life of limiting speech. You know what I'm saying? My Second Amendment rights are very much intact. One of my favorite amendments, by the way. Shh, love it. Pew, pew, pew. Hold up. Wait a minute. It's a remix and I'm coming with that. Pretty bitch, I'm trying to hit her with that. Can't catch me slipping, I'm up when I... Is that 22? So, you tell me. The people telling me I am either capable or incapable of anything based on my skin tone are not the Republicans, they're the Democrats. So, if I were you, I would go do my homework, okay? All right. My complicated journey with woke Kenyans as a conservative, something. And I'll post that video here. I'll link it here. I'm sorry. Someone said, based on your physical appearance, you would be an embodiment of woke because you look nothing traditional. Oh, no. Speaking of that, I actually made another video speaking on the fact that conservative is not a look. We look very different. We have tattoos, we have piercings, you know what I'm saying? We look liberal, but we're not. We're like a trick. Like, woo, we look liberal. I'm not. When I open my mouth, they're like, oh. You're not one of us. No, honey, I am not one of you. Blah, blah, blah. You look at the traditional, which is an irony on its own. I guess asking for equality and asking everyone to be treated equally is seen as woke now. No, honey. Equality is fine. Equity is not. Can we stop conflating the two? Because y'all, I am tired of explaining this crap. Equity is forcing people to have similar outcomes. Okay? Equality is allowing them to have equal opportunities. Not the same. Alright? Okay. Lel Silma Brook says, please take that ring from your nose. You're not a cow. You're spoiling your beauty. How about no? Moo! My husband's cow. my husband's heifer. You know what I'm saying? What comment was this under? I don't remember what video this is under. Oh, the video about interracial couples. I'm gonna again link all these videos up here for y'all so you can go and check them out. I would love for you guys to go to check them out. Brooks, no, I will not take it out. Make me. I actually love it. It's one of my favorite piercings, my septum ring. The only thing I don't like about my septum ring is the fact that the liberal women have just ruined it for us. Every crazy liberal woman out there has a septum ring.
People that voted for Trump are equivalent to a second grade. Well, maybe I'm the faggot America.
I'm like, I'm not one of y'all. I'm not one of y'all, but I'm not taking it out either. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I don't play into identity politics. I don't judge people by the way they look. I judge them by their behavior and the way they think. Blue Sky left a very funny comment here, and they said, you know you support a racist party, right? They think people like you are beneath them, subhuman. And then they continue with, it's a very long comment, geez. Shortly after Daniel Penny, a white man, in parentheses, just in case we were not sure who Daniel Penny was acquitted for killing Jordan Neely, a black man, in parentheses. Trump and Vance invited him to the Army-Navy game and celebrated him. Why on earth would they celebrate him? The only answer is, he killed a black man and was acquitted. That is why! Exclamation point. Why they would not have done this if he killed a white guy. It was a comment under the video, racism from Kenyans. And so Blue Sky, this is my answer to you. I don't support a racist party because I don't vote Democrat. Isn't it Biden who said this to me?
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Right. Isn't it Obama who was essentially lecturing black men because they didn't show up for Kamala Harris's campaigns?
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say,
because he was shaming them into voting for her, even if they are waking up from the left. That's who treats me as subhuman. Isn't it the Democrats who push for Planned Parenthood? Also, Daniel Penny is a hero, and Jordan Neely is a criminal. But why? What would you know about that? Because you think with your skin tone. So you think that George Floyd is a hero. Am I close? Am I warm? I feel like that's the case. Yeah, I would celebrate Daniel Penny too. He deserves a medal, Presidential Medal of Honor. That's what he deserves for being a hero on the New York subway. Next. Anti-Stupidity Party asked, what could Obama have done to reduce racial tensions? Well, there weren't any racial tensions until he came into power, because he kind of used that on his campaign trail.
My, have the tides shifted? Are you kidding me? Barack Obama. I didn't vote for you either time. I saw right through you back then, and unfortunately, so many of my black brothers and sisters, my own family, they couldn't see through you. But now they can. You coming out, trying to shame black men into voting for Kamala? Are you freaking kidding me? You sound like a slave master trying to get your slaves back on the plantation. Well, Barack Hussein Obama, you know, I always appreciated the fact that Obama, as an acronym, could also be mentioned one big ass mistake, America. You didn't do nothing for the black community when you were in office. You pandered to the LGBTQ community, though. Oh, yeah, you pandered to them. You lit up the White House in rainbow colors and everything. What'd you do for the black community? What'd you do for America other than just inflame the race tensions in America? Yeah, that's right. You invited Black Lives Matter to the White House. You shamed Dallas police. You inflamed and stirred up racism in this country like nothing before. It wasn't Trump. It was you, Barack Obama.
He would have just talked about Americans and not black or white Americans. That's what he would have done. Yeah. Secondly, you will claim XX equals female and XY equals male. Yeah, I'm not claiming. This is a biological fact. I miss when common sense was common. What gender is XXY? It's an anomaly. It's called intersex, and it's an anomaly, meaning it's not normal. and there are very few cases of that. Trans people are not intersex people. Okay? Alright. Sorry. If you're wearing the Kenyan flag in America, then you want people to know you're Kenyan, aka identity politics. Drop the ethnic signifier and only wear America if you want to assimilate. Don't be a hyphenated American. I'm sorry, but bite me. I have both flags for a reason. I always have both flags for a reason. Because I'm proudly American and Kenyan. I have dual nationality and dual citizenship. There's no conflict of interest. I'm very proudly a patriot of both, and I'm gonna keep it that way. There's nothing you can do about it. What's the funniest part about this is that only the very extreme right, which I call the woke right, and the woke left, who are the Democrats, hate that I'm a dual national. Oh, pick one. No, I won't. Thanks. Post editing, Kenyan Hippie here, and yeah, that video was too long, y'all. It was too long. So this will be part one. Okay, this will be part one of my response to my haters, to my hateful comments. There will be a part two dropping in a few days. If you watched this far, thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Okay. Like, subscribe, share, and comment because it boosts my algorithm. Make sure you leave a comment somewhere so you can engage. I'll see you in the next one. Kenyan Hippie out.